On September 11, a couple walking in Center City, Philadelphia, was allegedly accosted and beaten by members of a group of more than a dozen. And such were the injuries that one of the victims needed to have his jaw wired shut for healing. 3 individuals have now been charged in connection with that beating. 2 men, 1 woman, who happens to be the daughter of a local police chief. The 3 have each been charged with 2 counts of aggravated and simple assault, 2 counts of recklessly endangering another person, and 1 count of criminal conspiracy. But for some, those charges are not enough. See, the men who were beaten are gay. If they were beaten because they are gay, then this would seem to be a textbook hate crime. Only Pennsylvania law does not give hate crime protection to the LGBT community. Seth Williams is the district attorney of Philadelphia and joins me now. Seth, why doesn't Pennsylvania law, where it protects other groups, protect this group?
You're absolutely right. How are you, Michael? Pennsylvania used to protect members of the LGBT community. Sexual orientation was a part of the hate crime legislation, but the Supreme Court struck it down on a technicality, on the manner in which it became a law. It was actually tied to an agricultural bill, and the state constitution really doesn't allow it to become a law unless it had gone through the Judiciary Committee. And so because of that technicality, it was struck down. And so currently in Pennsylvania, people of the protected class of LGBT are not protected. And so that is why we are hoping to change that, so that people that are homosexual will not be targeted and beaten.
Seth, here's my issue. First of all, I believe that if there are hate crimes on the books, then the LGBT community should be provided that level of protection. But what occurs to me is that if my wife and I were on that same block and we were beaten, God forbid, the punishment that would be meted out to those individuals would then be less than if those individuals had attacked a gay couple. So why should I, in that sense, be deserving of less protection under the law?
And that's an interesting question that many people pose, but it's actually incorrect. If someone were to target you, Michael, because they knew of your ethnicity and they targeted you for that, they knew where your family came from in Europe, and they targeted you and they said derogatory slurs that were tied to that ethnicity, we could prosecute them and charge them with a hate crime under the ethnic intimidation laws as they currently stand. And so we don't have that in this situation. It's unfortunate that it occurred. One case like this is too many. It doesn't happen as often as many people think that people are targeted because of their sexual orientation, and I'm glad at that. But one case is too many. But in the situation you mentioned, go ahead.
Doesn't every crime of violence involve some level of hatred? See, I'm troubled by the idea that we're now going after you because of what's in your mind.
I understand that part of our democracy is to protect minority groups, for the majority to protect those that people often target. And so that is why there was a need, people thought, to protect people if they were going after them because they were African American or because they were Korean, if you will. So I understand what you're saying, but we do not have the First Amendment right to express yourself by beating someone because of their ethnicity and hopefully not because of their sexual orientation.
A final quick question. Do you anticipate more arrests in this case, which is getting national attention?
I think, and I'm very happy that the police did a very thorough investigation in collaboration with the district attorney's office. We got an outpouring of cooperation from the public who searched social media, saw what many of these people had put on Facebook. They brought in the entire group of people. It was a large group that was a witness and somewhat of a party to what happened, and I think the police got it right. But if we find additional information, if we find that other people deserve to be charged, they will be.
Seth Williams, the Philadelphia district attorney, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, Michael.
I'll be right back.